Sweet. Awesome. I don't know. I can't see your face all of a sudden. Can you see my face?
I can see your face. I'm hoping I'm still on here.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's just like spinning with your name on it.
Let's see. There we are. How about now?
No, still can't see your face.
Some technical fun.
It's interesting. I'll keep going. She said keep going. It must just be me. So yeah, let's kick this off.
Yeah, awesome. Adam, good to have you on here. Thanks for doing a webinar together here.
Yeah, it's like I think it's my second one with Highway, so it's good to always get back on these with you.
Yeah, it's always fun. And you guys are an incredible partner. So it's really fun to hop on here and kind of highlight what you guys are doing and how we work together for mutual customers and show brokers who aren't mutual customers what it looks like to be on Sunnybrook and Highway together.
For sure.
Let's see. I think we got some people rolling in, so we can probably get started here in a couple of minutes. But for now, do you want to do a quick high-level intro of yourself, and I'll go after you?
Yeah, that'll work. Am I still on? Can you hear me, Reed?
Yeah, you're live. You're good.
I don't know. It's like kicking me off. It says, do you want to join? Looks like you're already in the room.
How about now?
I guess I'm here. I can't see myself or see you, but yeah, I'll give a quick introduction. Yeah, I'm Adam Lang. I'm the co-founder at Sunnybrook Software. We've been building out a TMS for the past 3 years. Really took it to market this year. Trying to find good partners. Specializing in full truckload, less than truckload kind of solutions. Very new, up and coming kind of TMS offering, but we are partnering with Highway and really trying to create a solution for our brokers to source, track, trace, do all the things they need to do to find good carrier partners to haul their freight. But again, that's a little bit about me. Happy to be here. We're based out of Kansas City. Most of the team sits there and works there. That's my intro. Go ahead.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam. My name is Reed Clement, our VP of Enterprise Growth here at Highway. I'm on year 3, starting in 2 days. It'll be my 3rd year anniversary with Highway, which is very exciting because Highway is a 3.5-year-old company as well. For those who don't know what Highway is, we are an identity and access management solution with the goal of serving brokerages to help you understand who's the person you're working with, do they belong to the carrier, and does this carrier have the equipment and compliance scopes necessary to haul your freight? We work with a variety of different brokerages, but Sunnybrook's an incredible TMS, an incredible TMS partner, and we have quite a few customers that are Highway customers that are on Sunnybrook. And I think the goal of today is to show you what we've built together, what we're continuing to build together, and how it all works in unison with each other. So very, very excited for today. That said, Adam, 3-year-old company, went to market this year. What would you say is your biggest pro of Sunnybrook as a TMS, not compared to other TMSs, but just for brokerages out there?
I would say just it's simple to use. Just the workflow is simple. It's easy to navigate. It's not overly complicated, right? Operationally speaking, it's easy to find a load, to know what needs to be done next on that load. Is it running late? Does it have detention? Do we need to take action on the load? So I think just it's a simple TMS that allows a brokerage to move fast.
Yeah, I can echo that. I'm not a brokerage and I don't live in your system, but I have seen it before. And like I said, we have mutual customers. So I've heard incredible feedback from the brokerages on Sunnybrook, which is, I think you said it, easy to use, intuitiveness. That's the number one priority for brokerages, which is great. And it is, that sentiment's echoed from every customer you have that I've heard. And everyone who's even looked at you, may not be a customer yet, but that's checked you out. That's the number one feedback we hear a lot as well,
Yeah.
which is wonderful.
Yep. That's what we're looking for. We're not trying to reinvent how, a product's move from point A to point B, but we want to make it easier for somebody to manage that within an actual software.
Yeah, you didn't make the car, but autonomous driving is makes it easier. So
that's right.
I hear you there. Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Adam. I think we can get started here. We've waited a few minutes for people to get in, so we probably have a good amount of people in the door. For people who are in the webinar here, if you have questions, toss them in the chat. We'll get to it at some point or as we go live. Happy to answer questions. I think we're gonna get started. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Highway, what we do at a high level. I'll share my screen and show you some of the functionality within our UI. And then an even better way to view it, I'm going to toss the rock to Adam and let him kind of show you the workflows within Sunnybrook, how it's integrated, how it looks, and why it's relevant. We have some customer stories we're going to tell, and we can do Q&A at any point as well. But thanks for all joining us here. At a high level, Highway, I already mentioned this in my introductory, we're an identity and access management solution. If you're like me and don't know what that means is every single time a person wants to interact with your brokerage, anytime a carrier wants to interact with you, with Highway, the first thing we do is say, hey, random person, who are you? That's a multi-factor authentication process. It's actually called identity verification or identity proofing, where we put that person through a series of challenges. We want to know who they are, and in doing so, we do facial recognitions, we do license scans, we do text message verification, we do email verification. So it's a multi-factor authentication to say, all right, you are a person, which is great. And then step two is, all right, person, we know you're a real person, but do you belong to this carrier? So we want to tie this person as an approved affiliate of a carrier. And then the final step is, all right, person who belongs to this carrier, that's awesome. Are you compliant to this broker's rule sets? So brokers just set up their rules with Highway to say, is this carrier a passing or failing carrier for me? And that pass fail for one broker may be different for each individual brokerage. That's what we do, is we support that workflow for carriers to onboard to brokers and for brokers to automate that process. We are a 3-year-old company, 4 years old, but we went to market 3 years ago. The reason we've grown rapidly is because, and this is not news to anybody in the industry, fraud has become rampant. I have my own theories on how and why it happened, but it happened. Our solution is built to eliminate fraud and speed up the transition of random stranger to existing partner in your workflow. That is what we do at a high level. The cool thing about Highway is the features, in my opinion. So identity and access management unlocks a variety of features. Features being, how can we vet this carrier? How can we find new carriers that run lanes? How can we onboard this carrier in 15 seconds? And then we go deeper and don't just stop at the point of onboarding. We look at, is it possible for this carrier who is in good standing from a compliance perspective, is it possible for this carrier to move a load for me? Or do they not have capacity? Or have they overbooked their trucks? Is their trucks even close enough? We can go into tracking of the truck. So you tender loads and then they accepted it. We can track the carrier for you. We can go the opposite direction, go upstream. Through our trusted freight exchange, we're able to create a secure environment for you to post loads and carriers to post trucks and interact digitally through this secure environment, because we don't let the bad guys in to see the freight to begin with. Our goal is to protect the freight broker throughout the full life cycle of the load. From the first time you talk to the carrier to the 100th time you book load with that carrier. That's the entire goal of Highway. I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. I'm going to start with the Trusted Freight Exchange. I'm going to show you some of that because that is the newest, in my opinion, the coolest new piece of Highway. Then I'll kind of dig in back into the rest of Highway, what we do there. Adam, would you add anything to that before I share my screen here?
No, I mean, take it away. I'm excited for you to show them what you're doing and then to kind of tie that back into what we're doing in the TMS.
Awesome. I'm sharing my screen now. It should be viewable for everybody here, so we should be good to go. This is what the Trusted Freight Exchange looks like. I am in staging, or this is live. I'm in staging here. These are all dummy loads. I mean, the real broker's names. These are dummy loads. I'm a dummy carrier. My name is Alexander Sample. So just to be very clear with everyone, this is not real freight. This is what it looks like to be a carrier. When you log into Highway, you land right here. And it's going to show you the Trusted Freight Exchange, where it's free for carriers. Carriers can see real loads from real brokers. If they can see it, it's bookable for them. They can also post their trucks where they have their ELDs connected. They can see the loads they're on, the equipment they have with their ELDs connected, the insurance profiles, the brokers they've onboarded to, the rate cons they've received, all the fun stuff for a carrier. But as a carrier, what they're basically doing is logging in and searching lanes. I already looked up Dallas this morning, so I'll keep looking at Dallas. And they're going to start seeing freight they're able to haul. As a carrier, once again, we don't show them loads they're not physically capable of hauling, either from a compliance scope or a location of the truck's perspective. And we're going to show them loads. This is Taylor Logistics. This is a dummy brokerage. But this carrier, Alexandria Sample, can see that there's a load post for 2659.50 going from Dallas to San Diego that picks up on the 14th and delivers on the 15th. It's a hotshot step deck load. They've already onboarded to Taylor Logistics, so they're already in network. And this carrier can now place an offer, and they can either book it at the posted rate, or they can make an offer. Maybe the carrier wants to offer 2,700 and get an extra $40 out of it. And when they do that, they're going to assign a vehicle to it and send that offer over to the broker. Adam can show you what that looks like in Sunnybrook. But from a carrier's perspective, they're booking freight. They've already passed the compliance scopes. They've got a truck available. We do a pretty in-depth risk assessment on that to get to this point. We'll talk about that offline if anyone wants to see it. This is what carriers are doing, is they're booking loads. And for some of the larger brokerages out there, I know Sunnybrook, you have some larger customers as well. If you don't want to use our digital bookings, host your own. Like, we can deep link to your own environment. Arrive has Arrive Now, their digital freight platform. You can book it in your own platform. You don't have to use us for that. But what we can do is get the right eyes to the right freight and help them book freight for you. This is what a carrier sees. And if they want to post their trucks, they can post truck 101 on their ELD that has a reefer trailer. They want to post it in San Diego on this specific gate. They can post their trucks, and brokers will book those loads. On the other side, as a broker, now for all of our customers, carriers get this for free. We serve the brokerage community. As a broker, when you want to go book a load, here's your loads. This brokerage has 1,700 loads available. They can click on this Bowling Green to Greensboro lane. This is where they have a load built, and they can see the best matching carriers for them, filtered by guys who have posted their trucks as available. Call SM Transportation. They've posted a truck in Bowling Green that wants to go to Greensboro. Book the carrier. Or if there aren't posted trucks, you can see lane history. Lane history is looking at a carrier's ELD activity in this lane and only going to show you carriers who run this lane the most. And if there aren't a ton of carriers who have a ton of ELD activity, then we're going to go a third layer deeper and show you carriers who are looking this lane up in TFX. They may not have posted their trucks, but they're looking this lane up, right? They're looking up lanes within the Bowling Green area going to the Greensboro area. These are the best matching carriers for you. Once again, the entire goal here is, if we can remove compliance gaps and remove the fraud vectors that carriers can go through on public load boards, then we can get to a secure environment, a trusted exchange, right? A trusted freight exchange to help you find freight and book loads at that point. Adam, do you want to flip and kind of talk through TFX within Sunnybrook real quick?
Yeah, for sure. Let me share my screen a little bit on what that looks like here. Since I'm having like technical problems when it comes to visibility, can you just confirm what you're seeing on my end?
Yeah, it's sharing now. Yeah, we're clear. I see Sunnybrook.
You can see it?
Yep.
Awesome. So I'm inside of a shipment inside of the Sunnybrook platform right now, and I was just going to show kind of the highway piece on sourcing. But then again, if I can search within the TMS for carriers that highway deems fit. It's just a lane search API. There's enhancements to come there, but I can actually take the data from within this load and call highway out to try to find carriers in specific geographical locations based off zip and anything like that. But also if that doesn't work out from a sourcing perspective, I can go into my actual load boards here and I can post this load directly to TFX from here. And it's as simple as that, is showing that load's being posted. And once a load's posted within the board, you're going to be able to see it. It's going to show you and tell you within the board that it is posted, and you're going to be able to move from there. But yeah, that's a little bit about the actual TFX postings. What's really nice about Sunnybrook is we have all of the available features that Highway has. So you have load lock, secure rate con, load lock plus, tracking, all of those kinds of things. So even when I'm also in the TMS, I can even check Highway to see where I have a little Highway logo that shows me where the actual truck is once we've selected that carrier and actually started tracking that shipment. But anyway, yeah, that's a little bit about that process. Reed, do you have anything else to add to that?
No, just the simplicity of Sunnybrook is incredible, and the way it flows from what we've built into the usable fashion of what the broker actually uses every day. I love this piece. Makes it easy.
Yeah, and we're really trying to bring in more information from Highway, right? So like I have a carrier profile. We've added a ability for a user to call, and this is just a dummy carrier that I've used a real life DOT number on. But I can actually call Highway now and get the actual raw data from the Highway API, which we're going to clean up in the future. But this still gives me some more real-time information, because that Highway data on this packet is it's a lot of information, and we want to be able to start displaying that accurately so that you don't have to bounce to and from Highway and the TMS all the time, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. I know. For those who are mutual customers on the webinar, you've seen what this looks like in Sunnybrook, and you've seen it in Highway. For those that aren't mutual customers of either of us or one or the other, I can share my screen and kind of walk through, because the API, the data that you just shared is cool, Adam. But I think most people in freight are more like me than like you, and data is cool, and we all love data, but it's not as pretty. Like lines of code are cool, but it's not as pretty. I'll share what that looks like.
I get it.
Within Highway as well, because once again, it's great to see it the way we show it. It's probably just as important to have it living in Sunnybrook like you were just showing it. But what he was just showing is like when you pull up a carrier, I'll just do a quick lane search to kind of show some more functionality within Highway. You do a lane search within Highway. This all lives in Sunnybrook as well, but you see all the carriers who run Chattanooga to Kansas City. We're going to filter it by who's already passing your rules, who has their ELD connected, and who runs this lane the most. So when a carrier wants to look at TSX trucking, they can see that the carrier is a partial pass to the 167 trucks. There's SAM Series ELDs connected. Watch out for this person trying to impersonate the carrier. Like, don't talk to this guy. That's what the secure rate comp piece is for, and that's why we look at verified users on a carrier's profile. But that kind of feedback, that loop it's showing you is that this carrier who runs this lane is passing all of your compliance scopes, right? They're passing, like they're failing for reefer because I don't have reefer breakdown. But they're passing my general freight class. They have an MC number. They don't have a non-domiciled limited term CDL. There's no fraud reports. They're a great carrier. All this information that we host in the Highway UI, that's what's feeding into Sunnybrook in real time to show you this is a real carrier. They can book your freight. You don't need to be concerned with fraud or risk when you're working with them, because all that feedback's going to Sunnybrook saying, and they're only going to show you the best carriers for you because it's already passing the Highway risk assessment and rules there.
That's right. Yep. It's a very quick way to call Highway from the TMS to get a group of carriers that you can then blast them emails from there and start having them put offers on your freight too.
That's exactly right. You mentioned load lock and load lock plus. I'm going to get to that in just a second. While we're in Highway, since I have my screen shared still, the non-domicile rule is great. A lot of the fraud we're seeing lately is around carriers who are previously good carriers that are about to break bad or are breaking bad right now. They're doing direct theft. So they've been in your network for 6 months, a year. They've moved 30 loads for you, and then they break bad because their time's running out. We can see that through that identity proofing, the license scan, facial recognition piece. Steven, I do see your question. Can a carrier see your loads in TFX that aren't connected to currently in Highway? If the carrier passes the Highway risk assessment and they meet your compliance scopes, then they can see your freight, whether they've onboarded to you or not. Our goal is not to just show your currently onboarded carriers to you. Our goal is to show you all capable carriers that can haul your freight. And in that instance, the carrier quickly just says, instead of make an offer, they hit your connect button, they onboard to you in 23 seconds, and they're right back to you to book the load. Because they already passed your rules, they passed our scopes. I can go deeper on our scopes if you want to understand what we do in the first place to lock carriers in. But it does show all carriers who are capable and fit of hauling your freight, whether they've onboarded to you or not. Perfect. Great. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Stephen. Great question. Before I show load lock and load lock plus, I just want to make sure everyone sees what we're looking at in Highway here. We know where their ELDs are, so we know they have trucks in different areas. We know their equipment down at the VIN level. We see them every single day. We know their authority history. We know the insurance. We can literally click on the insurance cert if we want to and see what their insurance cert has to offer here. We can go deeper and look at what exclusions they have on file. This carrier can't haul electronics, and they can't haul wine, and they can't haul semi-precious metals, right? And they can't haul in Mexico. We know their safety scores. We know their violations, their inspections. This is all part of Highway. Once again, I'm showing this to you because it's pretty. you don't need to look at all this because all of that functionality flows over into Sunnybrook into a very clean and simple use or don't use green light, red light system. It's all automated based on your risk assessment to say use them or don't use them. Adam, before I go into Load Lock and Load Lock Plus, anything else you want to talk about here on just a carrier?
Yeah, I mean, not only is it kind of an active, not active, or do not use type of behavior from just passing the rule set, but there's also alerts that get sent out as well as those carriers, maybe start good and then move bad. There's alerts that get sent and that can get picked up from the TMS. That also helps drive that behavior. So you're not going to throw somebody on a load that was good 6 months ago, but hasn't updated. And now all of a sudden we can stop them in their tracks.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I do see another question. Does Sunnybrook have the feature secure rate cons button when sending rate confirmations to carriers? Before I show that functionality in Highway, do you want to go ahead and answer that one, Adam?
Yes. Yeah. So if you have that secure rate con functionality or feature turned on in Sunnybrook, you have the ability to send that when you're sending the rate con, or the legacy way of just sending a confirmation via email. So yes, we do have that button, that feature.
Yeah, and to kind of go a bit deeper, the secure rate con functionality within Highway and Sunnybrook, it's built to combat the times when a carrier has had their email compromised, right? You're doing the right things, you're talking to the right people, they're vetted, they're approved carriers, but that carrier has had their email compromised. Maybe they clicked that phishing link one time and they didn't realize it, and then the bad guy's been in their inbox for the past 30 days just scoping the neighborhood and waiting for that one awesome load from that one incredibly high-value shipper, and then they go in and intercept the rate con and steal it. The secure rate con portal, the secure rate confirmation is built to eliminate that problem for you, because instead of allowing the carrier to see that PDF attachment and then take your rate con, delete the email, and show up with whatever truck they want, the shipper's destination, origin, and pick the load and take where they want. Secure rate con is built to send the rate con through our portal, our multi-factor authentication portal. So when a carrier clicks on that rate con, they actually have to log into Highway to view it. And if they haven't logged into Highway before, then they're going to get prompted to go through the full identity proofing spectrum again and prove they are real. And at that point, the bad guy can't prove they're real, and he can't open your rate con. That functionality does live in Sunnybrook. It's all fully automated and very, very simple. I don't know if you want to show that piece, Adam, or you want to save it for later, but up to you. But it is all there. Yeah,
I'll show it later when you throw it back my way.
Perfect.
I'll show how to do that.
Perfect. Since secure rate con is a piece of Load Lock, I'll talk about Load Lock. This is what Load Lock looks like. Since I'm a Highway employee, I kind of have God mode on, so I can see everything happening for all customers. Any one broker won't ever have more than 30 alerts any given day. But this is what Load Lock looks like. At a high level, Load Lock is built for load level compliance. Every single time you tender a load to a carrier, you tender that load through secure rate con. If the carrier accepts it, awesome. But we still want to know, is it possible for this carrier to move this load for me? These are all live loads, as you can see here. This carrier, AG Partner Holdings, has an out of range alert on their profile. They have several alerts. The load picks up in Rockville, Maryland, and goes to Fort Collins, Colorado. Their closest truck was 778 miles away at time of pickup. I think we all know it's not possible to move a load when your truck is 700 miles away. You're going to be late to pick up, and that stinks if you're a broker. Or their carrier is going to cancel that load on you last minute, and that stinks even more if you're a broker. Or you have the worst case scenario: someone else's truck is picking up that load because the carrier you tender a load to doesn't have any trucks there. And that's what we call fraud, right? And that's what we're here to defend against. So once again, Load Lock is built for load level compliance. Is it possible for this carrier to move this load for me right now? Out of range is one. Cargo exclusions are another one. You tender a load to a carrier and you don't realize it, but this reefer load that you tender to the carrier is actually a load of meat. This carrier has an exclusion for meat on its policy, and this origin pickup is they ship meat, right? They have an exclusion for this commodity type. If something happens on that load, that claim's getting denied because you booked a carrier with an exclusion, whether you knew it or not, and most of the time the carrier doesn't know it. So the goal here is to show you, when you're choosing a carrier, do they have an exclusion for this commodity type or not? That's another Load Lock alert. Another big one is going to be recent identity alert, and this one stinks, right? You've been working with this carrier for 6 months. but they just got a fraud report on their profile yesterday. You have loads tendered to them right now. That's a problem, right? And Sunnybrook has it built to where when this happens, the carrier goes to a failed status. This is the fail-safe to the fail-safe. Maybe your rep didn't see it, or maybe something happened and you tender load anyways. We're still going to send you this alerts in Highway, in our dashboard, via email, via Sunnybrook, and let you know there's a problem here with this carrier. I'm going to show you one more, then I'll pause for a moment. The overbook carrier is a big one. Here's one from 1 minute ago. Someone tendered a load to Optimus Family LLC. They're a one-truck owner-operator. They're supposed to pick up 5 loads today. They have 1 vehicle. This is a 531-mile load of aerospace parts. This carrier cannot haul 5 loads 531 miles because they have 1 vehicle. It's you can't move this many loads this far with your amount of trucks. They've overbooked their assets. There's a problem, right? They're either going to cancel on you or cancel on another broker. It stinks once again, or you're getting double brokered. They're accepting more loads than they can physically haul themselves, and they're going to ship those loads out to other carriers. You're getting double brokered. Once again, load level compliance is what load lock is built for. How can we confirm every single time we tender load to the carrier? Is it possible for them to move this load for you?
Yeah, and I mean, just to add on that, so any load that gets built into Sunnybrook for those mutual customers that we have, we're automatically just sending that load data. As soon as a load gets active, we send it over. As soon as it's covered, so on and so forth. And as that load moves through the life cycle, Highway's in sync with the TMS, so both systems can use that data to their advantage.
I can stop sharing my screen now. Adam, do you kind of want to show what it looks like in Sunnybrook? We can keep doing this back and forth of what it looks like in Highway and how it works in Sunnybrook.
For sure. So I was just going to kind of talk to, and can you confirm, Reed, you can see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about some of the settings on the secure rate con. So if I had this checked, I would obviously check that to turn this on, or I could turn it off, or just have my e-rate con version as well. But if I have a shipment in the system, so I have a covered load that I'm going to send a rate con out to. And again, because the load lock functionality is turned on, this load's already in sync. Highway already has all of this data. I'm going to come in here to send this rate confirmation. I'm going to choose my contacts that I have. And again, these contacts are built through Highway's process. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to actually send the e-rate con to Highway if I was going to proceed that route. I could just send it generically through an email process or have an e-rate con, but I also have that secure rate con option. So there's that button, Jorge, that you asked about, to be able to send a rate con through that process. And I think that's probably one of the smartest ways to validate, that this carrier is actually going to get the information that they need. So yeah, that's a little bit about that. And then going back here again, from a covered load perspective, as soon as I throw a carrier on this load, right, we're going to validate it internally, but we're also going to essentially bring in driver information. This truck, driver phone, truck, all that information gets pulled in from Highway, and you can actually select which carrier is going to be on that load, or that driver, I guess, with the specific truck, so that the tracking can begin, and that whole process can be visible from within the TMS. So again, when I went back to the board and I was looking at a load that was en route, I had the ability to kind of check, again, this Highway logo. I can click the map here, but even from within the load, I have that ability to kind of look and track that shipment and see where it was, where it's at, tracking now, stop and start order again. So that tracking piece and that Raycon piece are very important for the process to keep everything secure. But I don't know if you have anything else to read on that.
No, it's just so simple with your software here. Do you, since you have your screen share already, do you want to go ahead and talk about tracking the load? So it's a good carrier, no load lock alerts, secure Raycon went through, perfect. Track the load, right? ELD tracking commences.
Yep. ELD trackings, like I said, again, the board tells you, it indicates to you that it is being tracked via Highway or any other tracking provider that you might have. But that's that's going to take that load from en route to, at receiver to delivered, all the way through that process. And once that load finishes out, tracking ceases. But it's really nice when you're throwing a carrier on a load, because we're bringing in the existing truck numbers and driver information that carrier has already filled out. when they complete that packet. So that all the contacts that live within a carrier profile, these contacts get, whether they're drivers or dispatchers, they're already validated by what was brought in from Highway. And so that really helps us make sure we're sending that and using the right drivers for the right loads. Yeah. And again, it's really just a feature flag on the back end. If you want load lock or you have load lock, you had a checkbox on the settings, and then we'll just start sending loads over to Highway so you can keep the two systems in sync.
Yeah, once again, I think the goal of this entire webinar is to show simplicity between the two products. Yeah, I think everyone kind of understands Highway works and Sunnybrook works. How do they work together, and how we make it very simple for the end user to consume the data and use it effectively. And this is just perfect here. We've had some questions. We have 14 minutes left for this webinar. If anyone has any other questions or concerns, throw them into the chat. We can answer them as we go. For the next 5 or 6 minutes, I kind of wanted to talk about some customer stories. I have a few. I know Adam has a few. Adam, do you want to kind of start with the brokers you're talking about that's been on Highway and Sunnybrook for 2 years?
Yeah. So yeah, they have not had a single fraudulent a load the entire time during that process. And so it's just a testimony to the way that we have this set up. And we've both companies in and of itself been growing fast and making changes. And so we've been able to really display that, that ability to show fraud, or to at least warn somebody from not using a carrier that has even the slightest bit of questionable remarks. So it's been a really good, I guess the timing of it has all been good, because Highway has been releasing, load lock plus, secure Raycon, all of these features, TFX, and we've been able to keep up with those features that you're deploying. And it's been able to help our customers from getting their load stolen, which is obviously at the end of the day what we want. Because if my customers are growing and your customers are growing, then we're obviously doing something right.
Yeah. I think that's a testament of itself, because I know you guys move incredibly quickly and do updates all the time. On our side, I can speak to it because I am with Highway. We do updates every single week, whether it's code updates or product updates or new products being launched and released. The key to a good technology partner is, can you continue to be nimble and be quick and update to current market changes and shifts and updates. And you guys at Sunnybrook, and Adam, you specifically, have been incredible with this product. This new feature makes a ton of sense for all of our customers. We got to build to it quickly, and you do it every single time, which makes it very, very easy to understand why you continue to gain market share and keep your customers very, very happy, and therefore eliminate all fraud for them from every perspective. Yeah,
same to you and your team though. We have a good relationship there, and so it's easy to get a hold of you guys. We probably talk, at least someone from your team's talking to me or someone from my team once a week on just some, issues that customers are facing. And so that's really big to be able to quick from a customer service perspective, but also to be able to deploy code to make a change, like load's not tracking. Why isn't this load tracking? Let's troubleshoot this. And that in of itself is what's making this partnership so successful. So I appreciate all the work you and your team are doing as well. It's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. From a current market standpoint, we at Highway, we talk about a couple of things ad nauseum, and everyone on this call has probably heard this. If you're a customer, if you're not a customer yet, maybe this is your first time. Secure Raycon delivery, we don't charge for it. It's part of the load lock product. It is one of the most crucial aspects of what we recommend brokerages do, because I said this when I showed it for the first time, but a broker can do everything right and work with the right carrier and authenticate the users and make sure it's targeting the right person. You can do everything right, and the load still ends up stolen because even the carrier didn't know that their email was compromised, so they never saw the Raycon, right? Secure Raycon is, from my understanding and from what I'm hearing, the only way to combat that compromised identity is probably the best way to say it. The bad guys just in their inbox. Secure Raycon is an incredible function to this, and it's necessary across the board. We saw hundreds of events where this kind of thing happened, which is why we built it rapidly and deployed it rapidly this year. The other thing I'll mention, and I don't think this is public, this shouldn't be the first time you heard it, because I saw it all over LinkedIn the day we announced it privately. the non-domiciled CDLs and the limited term CDLs. There's nothing wrong with having a non-domiciled or limited term CDL. However, the fraud lately has shifted to direct theft, and majority of that direct theft has come from expiring licenses of people who are not going to be able to operate their business anytime soon. If your current provider does not have a way for you to understand if the carrier you're working with has a non-domiciled or limited term CDL, then you're missing something, and you're a target at that point. It's definitely necessary, and Adam and his team have built to these quickly to make sure that all Sunnybrook users have this functionality. But these are the fastest growing fraud vectors we've seen. The phone number came and went quickly. The email, just the wrong person came and went quickly. The typical double brokering came and went quickly. These are the two biggest vectors right now that we see, and they are hitting quick and hard and across multiple networks at the same time, and it stinks for all involved. So I want to give a shout out to two things that everyone can and should be doing if you're already a customer. If you're not a highway customer yet, we should talk about it. It's necessary. It's relevant.
Yep, for sure.
Adam, anything you wanted to talk about here? We got 9 minutes remaining. Any shout outs, anything you wanted to walk through to highlight Sunnybrook or how we work together here?
Yeah, no, I don't think I need to jump back into the TMS. I mean, I want to show more people the TMS, and there's so many more things within there that I can show you on a demo. So schedule a demo. I'm sure you got to pop up on the left-hand side to book a demo with us. And happy to walk through how the TMS is just functioning from a brokerage standpoint, but then from a compliance standpoint and the ability for you to source, search, find, track, trace, send E-rate cons. Again, every feature that Highway has, we can support in the TMS. So it's a good partnership. It's a good tool to run your brokerage. So,
and you can't say this, Adam, but I will. Not all TMSs do that, right? They'll build the one thing, but not all things. Sunnybrook is one of the best, if not the best, out there because they build everything and they do it immediately, and it's great. We don't have to keep going for all 45 minutes if there's no questions or anything. So I'll kind of start wrapping it up here. We do have an announcement for our partnership. Any new customers who sign up for Highway that are on Sunnybrook get 10% off on their subscription costs. So mention me or mention Adam, mention Sunnybrook when you're doing a Highway demo. We're doing this offer through the rest of the month, through the start of January. So anyone who wants it, 10% off your Highway subscription. We want to be good partners and good partners to everyone. We know the market's not fun right now, so we want to help prevent fraud and help you grow your brokerage and give you a little bit of a discount to get signed up based on this partnership here.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, just reach out to any of us, and we'll make sure and get you guys rolling.
Yep, and there's a little pop-up there. If you see it, you can click on that and get it going. If you don't want to click on that, you can go to highway.com, book a demo. My email is reid@highway.com, reid@highway.com. Reach out to me, and our team can take care of you. We're both on LinkedIn. Adam, what's your email? If you want your email out there, why don't you tell them your email? They can reach out to you too.
Yeah, for sure. Adam.lang@sunnybrooksoftware.com. And then you can go to our website as well to book a demo with myself. And that's just sunnybrooksoftware.com. Yeah, reach out anytime.
Awesome. Adam, thanks for the time today. Really, really appreciate it. I think we're probably square on this. I believe this recording will go out to everyone who signed up, and I'll make it available. So if anyone has any questions they didn't want to put in the chat, hit us both. We can both help. We can answer questions about each other or get the other involved as well. So everyone who hopped on here, thank you for joining. Really, really appreciate your time today and working on with this year.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to listen to us. And yeah, Reed, appreciate you always. So thank you for being here.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. I'll hop off here. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Have a good day.